Welcome to See You on the Internet, a podcast exploring life, love, and the pursuit of happiness in the age of the internet. We're your hosts.
I'm Kate.
And I'm Nicole.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
The
girls
back in bed.
Back in bed. It's like, I love when we record in bed.
It's always fun. It always packs a certain punch. You know what I'm saying?
It feels right because it feels like we used to spend so much time like giggling and laying in bed together when we lived near each other in Boston that like it feels like this like idea was born out of bed. Like it should have been a bed podcast the whole time.
It should have been, but then you moved.
I know, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
You kind of ruined
But you moved too, so
not first. You went first.
One of us had to break the seal.
And then we both moved since. No, you haven't. I have.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
All right, welcome back to another mini-sode Yappy Hour.
Yappy Hour.
We asked, you guys voted in the Instagram stories, which no one is surprised that Formula One content went out of the pool.
You know what?
You guys want what you guys want.
You're the one you want, and we get it, and we admit that we kind of switch gears on everyone.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take some time.
It's sort of like we kind of are like in a Britney Spears Manic Episode era where we're just like, fuck it, we're shaving our head.
No.
We're becoming a new podcast.
100%.
We didn't really ease you guys out of it.
No, we didn't.
That's a problem. But
well, I feel like maybe we did.
Yeah.
I feel like we were starting to talk about more things, but we didn't care by the end of the TG1F episode.
True.
We were just talking about literally whatever.
True.
We were just filling an hour. So...
But you know what? It's okay. I feel rejuvenated again.
No,
I feel like I'm ready. We can talk about.
And we talked about this. We talked about this. I don't remember when, but I was like saying
one thing about us. We're always talking about it.
We're always talking about it. That's for sure. That is for sure. But I was saying I was excited for this season to be just a fan of F1 again, and I think that that's happened. And now I feel alive again, and I feel excited again because now I'm just like watching as a fan and 100%. Not as like, okay, what about this race can I talk about in the podcast for an hour? Like, that was tough.
Yeah. And now we just get to talk about it as like, hee, it's so fun again.
Exactly.
Like, although I will say, this race was
not the race really for this because it was so boring.
Not a race for us to come back to a TG1F episode, but like, the hype was so real for Japan.
I know.
I feel like actually I'm never impressed by a Japanese race. I just feel like I have stayed up in the past and like, well, that's not true. Like 2 years ago, it was red flagged and it was the whole four hours, which was insane because I stayed up until like 5 a.m., which was crazy. And I was like, I need to go to bed. But I just feel like this one was so unsurprising. I feel like we're back.
Well, this one was so hyped because Yuki on Red Bull officially first race, home race, and so I feel like
and he was out here saying, I don't need to set expectations, but I expect to be on the podium. He's like, I'm gonna be on the podium. Yuki, settle down.
No,
tamper down those expectations.
Nicole, what do we always talk about? That's an abundant mindset.
Visualization. You're so right. We have to
thoughts, feelings, actions.
You're so right.
We have to say. Good for him.
He's been listening to the podcast and he's like, actually, I will be embodying this delusional lucky girl syndrome mindset. 100%. I am visualizing a future in where I'm on the podium with Red Bull, and I love that for him.
I do too. It didn't happen.
It didn't,
but
not happen at all.
But it's a thought that counts.
It's always the thought that counts,
as they say.
The streets are saying.
The streets are always saying that it's the thought that counts. The streets are always saying and the streets are always thinking. Because the thoughts are what counts.
The thoughts and the actions, yeah.
The thoughts, 100%. The actions, the feelings, the counting. I was gonna do a little bit of like, dude. Counting.
We can make love on the spectrum and Formula One.
Okay, here's the thing. I just thought of David's Halloween costume. He can be the thought that counts, and he'll wears like a Riddler outfit, like from Batman, but also with the cape from the Count.
Wow.
And he's like the thought that counts.
I love that. You should tweet him.
But yeah, I'm always thinking about Halloween costumes for some reason. Like, I'm always thinking, like, that would be a good Halloween costume. Ask me the last time I dressed up for Halloween.
Well, it's so hard. We don't.
Well, Halloween is a fun time to be creative, and we are very creative.
We just are two creative souls trapped in
this could
corporate
be a business
bodies.
Side quest. You and I come up with Halloween costumes for people. And people pay us to be like, what should I do?
You pay me $5.
You tell me your interests.
We're like Etsy witches, but for Halloween costumes.
Yes. You tell us your interests. Mm-hmm. You tell us things that you think are funny, and we come up with a costume.
I love it. New bit unlocked.
New bit unlocked. You guys let us know. New segment. People write in their interests, and we give them what to be for Halloween.
Everyone's like, I'm quitting this podcast. I'm never listening again.
Everyone's gonna DNF us before we really started.
Okay, sorry. Yappy Hour. Back to Formula 1.
Formula 1.
Yeah, this race is incredibly boring, but I think the season so far has been really interesting.
I mean, Lando's still in the lead, right? Because he was on podium.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna angle. Maybe this is better. Who knows? I don't think I'm gonna be looking good on the YouTube for this episode, but
I actually don't. This could be a mess of an episode, and we actually don't even release anything. Who's to say? Actually, at this point,
who is to say?
One thing about us, we cannot figure out how to record an episode together. Like, I cannot get. I can't figure out how to make the microphones work together as one audio input. Like, it's just something that simply doesn't work for me. And that's just how the cookie crumbles. We have been doing this for 4 years, and I still have not figured it out.
I simply haven't tried to figure it out because that's not my job here.
Every episode that we film together is the worst episode we put out. And every time we're like, we need to start filming more episodes together. No, we don't.
No, we actually need to get further apart.
We simply can't get it together.
We need to actually be further apart. Because it never works.
Long story short, if the audio is bad on this, it's just because we pulled it from our cameras and not from our microphones. So, who's to say?
Who's to say?
Alright, off track again. This is why we can't be together.
I know.
Because
it's too fun. We have too much fun. The vibes are too high. We're literally on a different astral plane when we're in the same room together.
I was falling asleep last night and I was like, oh, I hope I meet Kate on a dream plane tonight. I just feel like the proximity to each other really it
didn't even help when you were here when Nick was here in the same bed.
I just feel like we have to keep trying.
I mean,
I was like in my head and I was like, Kate, can you hear me? Kate, can you hear me? Did you hear me? I was talking to you last night. Yeah.
No, I was really tired. Well, maybe I heard you because I started thinking about that there was no toilet paper downstairs for you.
So true.
So maybe I was getting triggered.
I was reaching across the realms.
My cranium was ringing.
Yeah.
Okay. You know who else maybe could meet on the? I don't know. I was trying to find a segue back to F1, but I couldn't do it. The race was boring, guys. I don't know what you want from us. Like, I have nothing to say. The race sucked, and we didn't.
Here's the thing.
Get anything good.
I've said this on the Instagram, but if Isaac scored points today, Yuki did not score points today. I think Yuki would have scored points if he had been in the Racing Bull. Mm-hmm. And if they really fuck his career. Yeah. And his ability to score points for the team and get paid more money because he's in that Red Bull, I'm gonna be so peeved.
100%. Yeah.
It's gonna piss me off so much if Liam Lawson does well and then Yuki does bad and they don't put him back. I hope it's in his contract somewhere that he's if I don't get points in 3 races, put me back.
Yeah.
Put me back in the shelter. I want to be unadopted from Red Bull. I don't want to be here. And I don't want him to be there either. Yuki deserves better. They already picked him over for Liam, and Liam was a jerk about it. And then now, he has to go be, I'm sure Liam's ha ha ha, now I get to be in the good car. Fuck Red Bull. Although, what Nick said today about how they were oh, they want Liam in the seat. like you and Nick were talking about that. I hadn't heard that theory before. Is that kind of what people in the streets are saying?
The streets, as we said, the streets are talking and thinking. New bit on David. Yeah, the streets are saying that Red Bull really wants Liam in the seat, but there was like obviously like negative press around him being in the seat and he wasn't performing, and they were like, we don't want it to be something like Checo where they had it and everyone was like, get him out of there, like he's not performing, and like had this like kind of negative connotation around him. They didn't want that for Liam, and so they were like, let's put Liam back in the car while we figure out our car, and because Max is going to perform in the car regardless because it's Max.
Because they built that car for him.
Right, so like let's figure out the car, and once it's back being good, we'll get Liam back in there, and it just like kind of takes the negative like association away from Liam. And so I'm just like, if you're using my boy, bam bam bam, what if I got a gun?
Christian, count your motherfucking days.
I mean, how many days do you have left? We're always telling him to count his days. They have to be. It has to be.
The counting is almost up. The days are almost over. Like, Helmut Marko, Christian Horner.
I mean, Helmut has to be single-digit days at this point.
I'm so sorry. When is it his turn? When are the three ghosts returning to steal his soul?
Like, it didn't work for him. He didn't get that much nicer.
No.
He said a couple good things, but also I heard a rumor.
Did he walk back on the Isaac situation?
No, I don't know.
Remember when he was like talking shit about Isaac?
Yeah, don't do that. Honestly, Isaac is kind of like Yuki 2.0 for me. Like, I'm obsessed with him.
Yeah, the two of them are the golden boys.
Like, he's so funny. He's so unserious. I love him.
We always love, and I think it's really fun, and we've talked about this for the past couple of years, that it's hard for rookies to come in and let their personality shine because they like feel like they have a lot to prove, and like, you know, they're only signed for 1 or so years, and like they can't really be comfortable. But I feel like the rookies this year said, fuck it, we ball.
Because here's the thing, there's multiples of them, and they're all friends, and I feel like it gives them a certain like level of comfort. Yeah. And I think also when like the teams and the media kind of play on the fact that they're all friends, it gives them the opening to show their personalities. It's like when the Twitch Quartet.
I was going to say, it's giving Twitch Quartet 2.0.
And thank God for that. Because I missed those silly, funny romance days. Everyone's so serious now. You know, everyone like they've all like kind of grown up and they're seriously like competing for world championships. That's why I like rookies. Because they're not actually, they don't think they're going to be world champion this year. Like, they're just kind of like, I'm here for
nothing to lose. And you know what? It's sort of similar to our growth with the Two Girls One Formula podcast. When you say, like, when we first started, we were like, no fucks to give. No one's going to listen to our podcast. Like, we don't care what we're saying. We are just, it's the two of us talking and shooting the shit. And then, maybe we started to get a little serious with it. Okay, started to get a little serious with it, then we tried to do too many things, and it just wasn't as fun for us anymore.
Yeah, we were trying to compete with world championships, so we gotta get back to our rookie days.
We gotta get back to our rookie days, long story short.
That's why we didn't see you on the internet, because now technically See You on the Internet is a rookie podcast.
Yes.
We're back.
We're back to our roots, we're back where we belong. Do you see what I'm saying?
Wow. Life imitates art.
It's like we're on shrooms over here, but we're actually just high on Nitro Bar coffee. Guys, I
don't want to talk about this.
Well, I'm going to talk about it. If anyone knows about Nitro Bar, it's a Rhode Island staple micro chain. They have a couple of locations. I wouldn't say it's like a chain, but they have a couple locations. And
you definitely can't franchise.
No,
a Nitro Bar.
No,
that's for sure.
Wish I could.
You know it needs one, Cape Cod needs one.
Yeah. Anyway, so they're just like, they do like such fun flavors of coffee, and I feel like they kind of were the first ones to be like viral coffee shop on TikTok and stuff. Yeah. And so like every month or so they do like new fun flavors. This month is a caramelized banana latte, and it is
so good.
Unbelievably good. Like, you would be like, banana, I'm not really sure. No.
Tastes like a liquefied banana nut muffin or like banana bread. Like the best banana bread you've ever had in liquid form.
It's so good.
I got the cinnamon sugar latte, also delicious. This is why I didn't want to talk about it, because I found out last week that the next Nitro Bar flavors were going to be strawberry and banana. And so they're like, right now they're doing like a strawberry latte. They're doing strawberry matcha. I was like, oh, I'm going to get chocolate strawberry. But I was like, wow, banana is going to be really good, because I would love like a banana caramel. Like, I've been thinking about this.
She said it in the car on the way there. And I said, oh, that sounds amazing.
And we walk in, what's one of the latte flavors? Caramelized banana. And so I said, I have been thinking about this. But then I kind of panicked, because also the cinnamon sugar sounded good. And then Nicole got the caramelized banana. Our friend Aston got caramelized banana. And it was my turn. And I was like, should we all get the same thing? Or should I get something different so we can like try new flavors? I was trying to be political and nice about it.
She was.
And then I didn't even taste mine yet. I tasted Nicole's. I said, I have fucked up. I have absolutely ruined everything. And then mine was good, but it was not as good as the caramelized banana. So luckily, I do live here.
Yeah, so you can go back.
So I will go back tomorrow.
You work right nearby.
I will be going back tomorrow. I'll be bringing my mom.
I'm really excited for you to have a full one to yourself.
It's so good.
It's neat, yeah.
Anyways.
Okay, sorry, we got off track again. F1. I
can't wait to see what ChatGPT writes for our episode description today. Based on this transcript.
I have been loving Lewis Ferrari era, I will say.
Yeah.
I really think he was made for it. Like, obviously he's been cool at, like, Mercedes and stuff, but I just feel like he's so cool at Ferrari.
Yeah.
I don't, like, it feels like he leveled up his coolness, and, like, he's reached peak nirvana in terms of 100% being cool, and his outfits, and, like, I feel like his social media presence is a little bit, and which is crazy, because we've been talking shit about Ferrari's, like, PR strategy, but I feel like his social media presence with Ferrari is, like, way more loose and fun. I don't know if he just had the contract negotiations.
I was like, I fucking made it. Yeah. Like, I'm at Ferrari. Like, I'm here.
Yeah. So, I don't know, it's just been, like, really fun, and I love the one of them, like, the clips of them bowling recently, which a lot of people are like, oh, I didn't know Lewis became fun.
That is Lewis's thing. Lewis takes his team bowling every single year.
I love that Lewis loves bowling, because I too love bowling.
Same.
We would crush.
You know where she would love? The barbecue bowling spot on Cape Cod that I used to go to for bowling.
Tuesday Night Bowling League.
Famously
one of our early episodes. Actually, that was, I think, one of the first episodes we did where we started filming and recording our podcast, like, on film.
Really?
It's like, I'm pretty sure it's like one of our first YouTube episodes. Tuesday Night Bowling League.
Tuesday Night Bowling League.
Wow, yeah, TBT.
Yeah,
love it. Lewis,
he wouldn't love the barbecue because he's vegan.
Well, do they have vegan stuff? Vegetarian stuff?
Who knows? I mean, he probably have, like, onion rings. He doesn't like onions. Forgive me, Lewis. Forgive me. Oh my gosh.
Critical error.
Critical error. Ooh. Rewind. I did not say that. I'm an idiot.
Do a Connor. Edit that out.
Edit that out. Don't.
You're insane.
People like he gives his mom, which is too much.
Guys, as much as you wanted us to talk about Formula One, we
really want to talk about Love on the Spectrum. Tune in next week, because that's going to be the main segment of the podcast. It's going to be Love on the Spectrum. We actually just got a message from someone who voted on the poll, but they had to message us to tell us their thoughts. He said, Love on the Spectrum, despite this being a mainly F1 page. In the Grand Prix.
It's 40-60.
Yeah. The Grand Prix, in all my 20 years of watching, was one of the most boring, except for Lando and Max exiting the pit. Lots of work of art. Love on the Spectrum is a work of art and should be spoken about more and enjoyed because it's beautiful. Dan Dan, you are correct.
100%
you are correct. But yeah,
Dan.
we should talk about the pit exit because what in the hell was that?
We were
to be honest, we weren't watching with sound.
So because we watched the recap, and for some reason the sound was not working.
So we just were
watched in silence. Which is a crazy way to watch Formula 1, I'll tell you what.
I was like, I wish I knew what was going on, but I don't. This is what people, watching an F1 race with no sound is kind of what people think F1 is. It's just cars driving around. It's just cars driving around and you have no idea what's going on, and it's just, I don't even know if there's a strategy here. I'm just watching cars go fast. That's it.
Yeah, and it wasn't even there was no, voiceover, no commentary. It was just nothing. No car sounds, nothing.
You know what we should have done? We should have put on closed captions.
We should have. It's fine. It's fine. We were literally experiencing it at the highest form that a fan could experience it. We actually didn't need sound
because we were like, I see what's going on here.
Our brains were we know exactly what the strategy is. There isn't one. And we don't need the sound. We know who's who. We know what they're saying on the radio. We know what their voices sound like. Yeah. It's fine, guys. We don't need sound to love Formula 1.
At this point, it's reading a Harry Potter book, and I'm seeing the movie in my head as I'm reading it, but in silence. Daniel Radcliffe's voice is Harry Potter. I'm hearing Emma Watson's voice as Hermione.
The new thing now for us is if anyone calls us a DTS fan, we're going to be okay, but do you watch the races without sound? Huh?
And understand what's going on.
And understand what's going on? How about that?
Not.
How about that?
How about that?
Clap back, bitch.
Catch me with no sound. How about that?
Yeah, but the pit exit happened, and we were just oh, I know Lando's out here fuming and causing a fucking scene about that, even though, what was that unsafe release from
That was an unsafe release.
And also, Lando. Max was clearly already ahead of you when you peeled out. What are we doing here?
Right. It was so weird, and then he's
trying to make Max seem like the bad guy.
He's I could act like I have a killer mindset and act like a bit of a dick, but there are some things that I just wouldn't do that past champions do. Okay,
whatever.
Here's the thing. Max can be a bit of a dick, and he's a dirty racer sometimes. But people kind of negate that when they take actual normal things he does, and it's oh, it's Max, so that was wrong. No, It wasn't. No, it wasn't. He's done stuff that I'm that actually is not chill. Yeah. But this was fine, in my opinion. IMO, Max was in the right. And Lando was just mad about it.
100%. I mean, as always, I feel they're such whiny babies sometimes.
Truly.
Sometimes I'm I forget that they're men. You know what I mean?
So true.
I just forget that at the end of the day, there's some guy, and they're just men who like to complain.
So true. So true.
Oscar's birthday, I guess he was on the podium. Good job, Oscar.
Oscar on the podium.
What is he, 21 now? Just a baby. Speaking of Australians who are 21, Robert Irwin, we can talk about this later, but Jesus Christ. My God.
He had his anaconda out and about.
Anacondas were out.
His anaconda don't want none.
Unless you got buns, hon.
You want to know what's crazy? You just said that, and I don't want to admit this actually, but when you said, unless you got buns, hon, I always thought buns, son.
He's LGBTQ.
An icon? Yeah.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
I mean, I just don't listen to me. You know what's an interesting thing about F1 that someone posted on their story? I forgot who it was. Oh, it was someone tagged us in the story wanting to discuss, so we're discussing now. So Lance Stroll came in 20th, and someone said, why is I haven't heard a single person talk about Lance or Aston Martin all year. No one has said anything about them. And someone was did Lawrence pay the media to keep his wife's name out their fucking mouth? And then I was thinking about it, I was I actually don't think I've heard anything about Lance or Alonso all season.
But it's like, what are we expecting? I think that there should be more scrutiny because obviously they paid Nui so much money to come over to Aston Martin, and they're doing so poorly.
I know. Oh, another thing, speaking of Adrian Newey, apparently, I heard that allegedly, Adrian Newey was the one that didn't want Yuki moving up into the Red Bull seat. And he's the reason Yuki wasn't there. Unfounded, I have no idea where I saw that. I don't even know where I saw that. I don't know. I'm just saying
source? Heard mind.
I'm just saying things here. Source? I just say things that I see. I'm here.
Her mystic abilities.
I'm not claiming anything is factual. I'm just sharing the knowledge.
We never are on this podcast.
Never. Not once. Only on the episodes that Alex is going to research and write for us.
And she's not here today.
Our fact checker is not here.
Which means it's fair game and we are lying.
We're loosey-goosey. The gooses are on the loose.
Actually, it's great. We haven't started a rumor in a while. Let's start that rumor. Adrian Newey has beef with Yuki.
And Lawrence Stroll paid everyone in the world off to not speak on him and his team. Don't speak to me or my son ever again.
Literally. Dead ass. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with Aston Martin, but like, are we surprised?
No. I just never really think about that. What? But I'd also heard that he is like considering buying more stake in Aston Martin so that he would
I thought he was selling some of that stake.
I heard that he was going to be like the owner.
I saw that he was selling stake. So
now I'm going to look it up.
So now we're at odds.
Now we're at odds.
What's the word on the street with Stroll?
What are people saying about him? Stroll hints at taking Aston Martin private as he calls evaluation a joke.
Okay, well, you guys are finishing dead last. Of course it's a joke. What are we talking about here?
Aston Martin shares jumped 10% as Canadian billionaire Lawrence Stroll invests more cash.
Okay.
Oh, here it is. Lawrence Stroll increases his investment in Aston Martin as company sells stake in F1 team. So they sold stake to him.
Oh, okay.
If this was kind of like me selling shares of my trust to myself and then having that be my biggest, most like large piece of tax one for this year.
You have shares in a trust?
Well, not shares, but like I sold money from it to myself. Like that's how you have to take it out. My grandma had set that up for me, and so when I bought the house, I used it as our down payment. But the only way to get money out of there is you have to like technically like sell it to someone, and so like, but you just sell it to yourself, your bank account, and then I got taxed so much it was like $2,000 in taxes, and I said that's actually so fake.
Yeah,
that's so fake. I told to myself. So what's even the point?
Well, the government said that's income, and we're taking money.
I'm an anarchist again. We always get around.
It's
tax season. It's tax season, so I'm going full anarchy. I'm an anarchist. Who needs a government? Honestly, I wish that I could live in a place like Stardew Valley, Zelda. I'm just trading wares for goods. I'm trading.
We're going back to the bartering.
Like I wish I could. I have a lot of stuff that I could give away. Actually, someone responded when I said how many eggs I have in my fridge right now, and they were like, just see if you can trade some eggs for other wares. And I was like, honestly, yeah, it's giving Stardew Valley. I wish I could do that.
I'm obsessed.
Like, hey guys, I have 24 eggs in my fridge.
Maybe you can trade some of those eggs for shares in Aston Martin.
Lawrence does probably need some eggs. I don't know if he can afford them at the moment. Well, they're probably getting really taxed because he's in Canada.
Yeah, so true. I feel like I haven't heard. Yeah, what's been going on with Alonso these days?
I feel like he's just vibing.
Lance is they're just minding their business. And you know what? Actually, that's tea. They're like, we're not good. We're just minding our business. We're not causing a stink. We're just doing our thing.
Well, either Lance posted or Aston Martin posted a video and it was like, you're so quiet. Haha, thanks. My social battery ran out 3 hours ago, and it's just Lance. And I was like, I've actually never related to him more. That was the most relatable piece of Lance content I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Lance.
We're really good with our segues today, huh?
Speaking of Lance and his sister Chloe and her husband Scotty and his wag Daniel Ricciardo.
Okay. It's been my brother's wife's cousin's girlfriend. His roommate.
I am just like, I'm so obsessed with him being Scotty's #1 fan and like living his wag life. And we've been talking about how he is the perfect wag for like ever, but it's just so fun to see. Like when it was like Scotty on the podium and then they cut to Danny, like where was Chloe? No shot of Chloe, just Danny cheering, being like, that's my man, that's my man.
No, it was so funny. You wonder what Danny is kind of destined to be a wag because he loves another athlete and he loves to be their wag. Like Josh Allen, he loves to be Josh's. Like he loves that life. Mm-hmm. We should send him one of our vintage future F1 wag hats.
I'm screaming. Yeah.
For when he decides to re-enter the paddock, but as a wag for...
You know what pisses me off,
most likely Max.
That hat would do numbers right now. That hat would be doing so... We'd be the most popular hat in the ecosystem right now, I think, if F1 would let us sell that hat.
No, for real. Future F1 wag.
The girlies on TikTok would eat that up.
They would.
We gotta try and re-put it out there and see how long we get before we get a cease and desist.
We can't get taken down again.
I'm like, oh, whatever. They're not gonna find us. We changed your name.
So true. This is kind of like, it's kind of our first strike because
we're back in business.
We're rookies again. Famously,
we're rookies again. Okay. Homie's not here with us. He's in the other room and we need to leave.
I need to get back to my son. I need to get back to my son. I'm being an absentee mother right now.
Deadbeat mom over here.
Just trying to make a couple bucks to feed my son. What would you do if your son was at home? Crying on the floor because he's hungry. And the only way to feed him... It's a song about being a prostitute, but I was going to feed him.
What?
You don't know that song?
No.
Hold on. We're going to play it.
We can't play it because it's going to be a copyright issue.
Not when I sing it.
Who's it by?
It's by City High. No, I know you know this song. Hold on.
No. Never heard of that band.
It's about a mom who has to sell her body to make money to feed her son.
It's giving, I had a dream of days gone by.
100%, yes. This was the
it's a modern, modern day Les Mis. Kate, I have never heard this song.
Okay, I'm also pretty sure Mary J. Blige maybe covered this song.
I have never in my life heard this song.
Oh, no, Bastille covered it. Whatever.
You can have this one.
Kind of missing out. But anyways, I was going to make a joke. What would you do if your son was at home crying all alone on the living room floor because he's hungry and then the only way to feed him was to record a podcast with your best friend and ignore him?
Yeah. No,
so anyways.
I see where we
didn't land. Okay, wrapping it up.
Alright, guys, we will see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
For our full-length episode, which we are going to be covering the history of fairy porn.
Yeah, I know.
Which I'm really excited about.
I'm really excited.
Very smut. So tune in for that. I think it's going to be a really fun episode.
Very smut and Love on the Spectrum. Kind of an iconic...
Our special interest.
Our special interest. Yes. That is our special interest. Kate and Nicole like fairy porn. They don't like non-fairy smut.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. That ass.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll be back. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Bye. Thanks for listening to See You on the Internet.
To keep up with the fun between episodes, make sure to follow us at See You on the Internet Pod on both Instagram and TikTok.
And to join in on the fun on the podcast itself, call the Kate and Nicole hotline at 646-780-9063 or email us at hi@seeyouontheinternetpod.com.
We'll be back with a new episode soon, but in the meantime, we'll see you on the internet.